Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Just worship something. Something bigger than you, outside of you, something constant, stable. Just worship something. Because when we don't worship anything, or if we just worship self or others, we get wrapped up in the small picture again. Worship the chipmunks if you need to. The point is, make something sacred in this tangible reality to remind you of your sacredness and your divine light. Worship something positive. Because when you say just worship anything, then someone can be like, well, I worship the devil. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'd rather you all be on the side of good. But then again, would there even be a side of good if there wasn't a side of bad? Right? Side of evil. A battle for spirit, a battle for soul. Because that's what it is. You're in a spiritual battle every day. And every negative thought is the devil. Think about it, though. Look at it like parasitic thoughts versus ally thoughts. When you worship something positive, something good, some goodness outside of yourself, you hear more of the ally voice. Because there's sacredness in your life. There's divinity in your life. When you worship the low-lying, lower vibrational frequencies, no goodness is going to come from that. If anything, you're just letting the side for evil win. The parasitic voice wants you to believe it. It's not the truth, but it wants you to believe it. Why? Because what do we know about black holes? They got a sick gravitational pull. Like crazy good. But we don't live there. We live on another planet with its own gravitational pull that's balanced to support life. Right? We don't throw ourselves into black holes like, forget this, we're going into that black hole. Right. We don't do that. Just because it's drawing you doesn't mean you get inside of it, believe it, adopt it, play with it even. None of that. It is a lot simpler to retrain your brain when you start looking at it, at the voices in your mind, as either parasitic or ally. What's an ally? An ally supports, an ally encourages, an ally shows up, right? So if that's not the voice in your mind, supportive, encouragement, things of that nature, positive, then you're listening to the parasite. The more you listen to the ally and accept what it has to say and implement that positivity into your life, the less the parasite is heard. Why? Because you're making a decision, a free will gift, a blessing, as one would say, to choose. And you chose the goodness. You chose the unconditional love, the compassion, the empathy. It starts right here. Every day, what thought are you going to look at? Which one are you going to let embody into you? Because it's spiritual warfare. It is. It's not a reflection of your character. It's not labels of good or bad of who you are. It's none of that. It's literally the tug of war from the spiritual battlement that we as spiritual beings inside of bodies will be fighting forever. Forever. This world, this universe, this entire reality is built off of the concept of duality. So it's never not going to exist. It will always exist. It's up to your choices of which voice you're going to feed, support, and grow. And I'm telling you, when you worship something outside of yourself, it reminds you of that your own empowerment, your own divinity, your own unconditional love. It's a mirror for who you are that you've forgotten. You've forgotten about the divinity, the divine light. You forgot. So you need a reflection of that. And that needs to be every day, not just when you meet somebody who does a nice thing and you're like, oh my gosh, that is the divine light working, right there. Worship nature. Wow, divine light. The sun. Without the sun, we wouldn't have the flowers and the plants and the things. Worship the sun then. I am not saying to become a sun worshiper like back in the day when we didn't know science and we, sacrificed people because we had an eclipse. We're past that. We're past that. I want to believe we have more logic than that now. But I want you to wake up every day and look out your window and have something to reflect back your own divinity. What is that for you? What will remind you of your own divine light? We can't always use people as mirrors. Yes, people are mirrors, but I personally am not always around people. Also, not all the people are listening to their ally voice. They're listening to the parasite. And that parasite might tell them, take that girl down today. Knock her down a couple pegs. Why not? Because now that is the low vibrational frequency parasite working through another person to attack. Spiritual warfare. People, we need to get aware of this. Because where does your soul go at the end? In my opinion, if at the end you are full of ally voices and you are vibing high, you will return to high vibrational energy, which is that of love, bliss, enlightenment, whatever, goodness, because you're not going to really have consciousness anymore. You're just going to go to good. Just go there. And if you listen to the parasite all your life, at the end, you're going to look back and feel fear, dread, shame, guilt. Once again, now locking you to a lower vibrational frequency, and that is where your soul will return. My dad explained it in a really cool way the other day, or not the other day, a while ago, but what if God or the universe, this collective consciousness, right, is just that, a brain, right? It's a brain. And where you create neural pathways is where the electricity travels. So, and what if we're just all inside of God's brain, right? So when we choose to listen to the ally, we go into the memories of the brain that are filled with love and goodness. And when we don't, we do the opposite. It's like a living nightmare. He also mentioned this, which I already kind of thought about personally, but when he said it, it really clicked. I was like, I believe that. If you have, like, imagine your worst nightmare. Like, that would be the perpetual state of existence. So the goal in this lifetime is to eradicate the nightmares. Because if you have too many things like that, you will be tethered to like things. Like goes with like. So, why is it important to just worship something positive? Worship love. Get crazy about love. Go out for Valentine's Day, like, without somebody and just watch other people, like, be in the restaurant. Like, go find love. Like, animals, unconditional love right there. Work with animals then, whatever you need to worship. Just this thing, whatever it is that reminds you of the divinity inside. Because we're not meant to suffer. We're not. It's just like the spiritual warfare of things. It is. Because the evil wants you to suffer. Then it wins. Then you feed more evil. You feed more negative, low vibrational frequencies. You're feeding it. Like when we pick fights for no reason. Why? We're feeding the negative energy. If you don't like how someone carries themselves or how they like their little taglines or like whatever it is that they are as a person and you don't like it, do you know what you have? A free will choice to just never see them again. To point out someone else's whatever that bothers you, what is that doing for the collective? Are we supporting as an ally? Are we allies to the ally? Or are we choosing the parasite? And now, not only are we choosing it, we're letting it work through us to bring down others. Ooh, the power of walking away, unfollowing, and blocking is strong with this one. I don't ever need to be right. I don't need anyone to agree with me. Ever. Why? Because that does not change my core values. Now, if I'm in the wrong and someone's trying to show me to the light, like that's awesome. I'm always a student, I'm always ready and willing to learn. However, I don't need the validation of others to be. Why? Because I worship something larger than myself. I pray. I speak affirmations. I believe in the law of attraction, the flow of the universe. I believe in this stuff. So how I'm going to carry myself does not align with the laws of reality a lot of times. But that doesn't matter because they align with the spiritual truths, the energetic truths, the unseen truths, the laws, the universal laws. So in turn, at the end of the day, I am not lost. I am not stuck. I am not questioning. I am not feeling stagnant. Because if any of that happens, I surrender that to the flow, to the all is. It's too much for my little body. Not meant to suffer. I need pure heart. Because if my heart's all gunked up with heaviness and debris, I'm going to be anchored here forever. I can't ascend. I can't find heaven, which is right here. If you can vibe properly. I'm not perfect. I struggle with the parasite. Trust me. I had a moment of self-deprecation on Sunday just because I was tired. I was just tired. And I asked for a favor. Just wanted to stop at the store on our way to our friends. But because, it was only for me, the store, no one else needed the store, it got me in a fluster. Because I was tired. And now I'm feeling guilty. You don't have to stop for... It's on the way. Relax. But that's what happens. We get wrapped up in self, and we think about that, oh man, no one else needs to stop. Maybe what I need to stop for is undeserving of stopping. Bro, it's all good. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there doing weird finger things, and I'm like, shit, I'm stressed out. Why did I do that? Why'd I do that? Want to know why? Because I was tired. Should have taken a nap. You know what's the biggest weapon against the opposing side in spiritual warfare? Food, shelter, sleep. Food, shelter, water, sleep. Oh my goodness. You got those things? You're already on the battlefield with armor, shield, sword. No food, no water, no shelter? You're on the battlefield in a loincloth. Right. And then everyone else is all shielded up and I'm in my loincloth. Enter anxiety. Because you're not armored up, homie. That's exactly... Energetic protection has everything to do with what you're doing to build your armor. I would love for us all to believe in the concept of God. I know religion is scary because man has utilized religion to authoritate and back up and validate their fear tactics. I'm aware. That's why I cut out other people when it came to learning about spirituality and this whole realm. And in all honesty, it just led me right back to the concept of God. The universe, the one, the all is, the beginning, whatever. You know? Because when we start believing that there is an unseen force supporting us, which there is, belief in God or not, there is this just driving force that wants us to succeed. When we start believing in that, then we start trusting in the law of attraction and then actually seeing it work. Affirmations and retraining your brain, 100% work. Does it feel silly in the beginning to just repeat these phrases over and over to nobody but yourself? Of course it does. Does that stop or does that make it not what it is? Does it stop it from being a tool? A successful rewiring of your brain's cognitive behavioral therapy? Right. You can't see it, but there's scientific proof in it. Just like the law of attraction. Just like the golden rules. Just like anything. I know. It's about getting people to believe it. That you're not the master. And if you really think you are, aren't you exhausted? You're in control of it all. I don't know if our little human brains and bodies are supposed to be able to handle it all. The it all goes to the one and only, the driving force of everything. You cannot stop a tsunami from taking you out tomorrow. I mean, granted, we don't live in tsunami territory, but you can't stop a natural disaster from wiping you off the face of the planet tomorrow. You can't. There is nothing you can do to prevent that mudslide, that flash flood, whatever it is not in your control. And when you start to recognize that none of it is, just how you work with this, that's it. It's the only thing in your control. What voice are you feeding? Ally or parasite? That's all you got. That's the only control you got. And even then, it still feels hard and out of control. That's why we use the personal affirmations and things like that. There's more to everything than just this. There just is. Whenever I used to get really anxious and start self-deprecating and beating myself up and then start going down the spiral of like, now look at your other failures. Let's bring those into light while we're already dwelling, because like, why not? I'd go to YouTube and look up a live feed from space of Earth. And I'm like, what am I worth? Look where I live right now. Like, we're such a coincidence. Like, what are the chances that we're all even alive right now? Like, we're just that far enough away from the sun to not burn up, and like just close enough though to create life. Does no one else find that to be mind-blowing? And also relinquish any feelings of self-doubt that you might have, because if this can work out, this like random connection of hurtling rocks through space, I think it's gonna work out. I think it's gonna work out. You just gotta believe it will. Just gotta trust that the moon revolves around the earth. You just have to trust that the earth goes around the sun. And that means every challenge has an actionable solution. Even if that actionable solution is, I don't know how to fix this problem, so I'm letting go of it. Everything is working out for the universe, for the planets, except for when we keep kicking Pluto out. He's a planet, okay? But that's what I'm saying, like, we're worried. We're so worried because we don't worship anything bigger than ourselves. We don't believe in anything bigger than ourselves. So of course it's going to seem daunting as crap. This whole world seems daunting as crap if you don't have any faith, any trust in something, which I do, because spring comes every year. Fall comes every year. The same emotional responses and shifts happen inside my heart and my mind through every zodiac season and every energy shift. I trust that. It's consistent. It's constant. It's always there. I'm always going to feel like frogs in the spring. I'm always going to feel like pink thulite towards the summer. I always feel these, like, you're drawn to certain things during certain times of the year because it's the whole connection of things, and it's consistent and constant. So if you don't want to believe in God, you don't want to believe in religion, that's totally fine. Believe in the consistencies and the constants of then the changing seasons, the zodiac seasons even. Like, you know, and if you don't know, start paying attention. Get a little journal going because it is mind-blowing. Energy shifts, bro. They happen all the time. And with or without you, they're happening. And they are affecting you with or without your awareness. So get aware. So you can honor these things. So you can thank the lessons that come to you because you know, oh, it's Scorpio season. The deep thrumming determination to heal. Like, all right, let me do some affirmations for deep deep healing, or oh, that makes sense for why I'm thinking about a trauma that I haven't thought about or repressed memory for so long, because it's the deep waters of Scorpio season and it's churning everything up. It happens. Now it's Taurus season. Right now, I don't know if anyone else is feeling this, but like sensual pleasures, man. I just want good foods. I want some berries. I want to be out in the grass. I can't get enough of my backyard right now. And not just because it's spring, even on a day where it's not super warm. It's just the fact that we're in this energetic season and I'm drawn to the physicality of things, the tangibility. This is an excellent season to root and ground and tether anything that you've learned during Aries season, to bring it to earth, bring it to your reality and see it manifest in your reality. These are constants. These are happening no matter what, your awareness or not. I love that I am not the master controller. Thank goodness, because that is exhausting. I love having the ally voice in my mind when I'm overwhelmed, or if I'm just ruminating, thinking about a topic too much. Literally speak it out to the universe. Pray about it to God, whatever that concept is for you, but that's what I do, and it resolves. Every single time, it resolves. Patience, yes, you need patience. This shit doesn't just resolve overnight, because once you put something into action, it's gotta grow. It's just how things are, but it works. I remember there was a time I was so upset about a situation, and I just was like, and I still didn't really trust the whole give it up to God or surrender it to the universe. I didn't really trust. I was still trying to like get into that, right? So I was walking home from church. This was like 5 years ago, and I just walked under this tree with some like weepy branches and like leaves, and I was like, oh, what's up, God? You know, like, hey. And I like touched the little leaf and I'm like, hey, tree, what's up? And as I touched that leaf, the voice inside me was like, give it to the tree. Tell the tree, what's up? What's going on? What's happening? And I told the tree the whole story. And then I also said, I would really appreciate some resolve with this. I don't know how you're going to resolve it. I don't know what I want or need in this situation. I'm at a loss. Give it up. 2 days later, problem resolved. In a way, too, that I couldn't have chosen. Like, in the best of ways of the problem being resolved, too, because I don't know it all. My little human capacity doesn't know the all is. That's why you need to give it up to the all is. And the beauty, this situation resolved. It was a negative, yucky, icky, gross thing. And it evolved into such a healing and beautiful moment, not just for me, but like for the person I was having a challenge with. I did not expect that because, you know, in the beginning, I was like, this person's kind of being mean to me. Like, what's the resolve here? Guess what? It wasn't punishment. It wasn't struggle. It wasn't strife inflicted upon the other that fixed it. What it was the melting of one's heart so that this person could see with here and not their brain, with their mind's eye and their heart. And then they saw me and apologized to me. And I felt more fulfilled than I have ever in my life from handling conflict on my own. Because on my own, I'm fighting for justice. Oh, you're gonna walk away knowing A, B, and C. You're gonna feel stupid or whatever. And I got a new mode of operation now. In the moment, during the conflict, I did voice I said, I understand that this isn't your intention, but I'm feeling very condescended right now and disrespected. I understand that's not your intention. I do. I feel this way because, and then I laid out the example and I said, but don't, it's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I just feel disrespected. And that makes me a little sad because I thought we were better than this. I thought we were closer than this. I thought we understood each other more than this. So I tapped into the vulnerability instead of the righteous justification vigilante mode. And I just worked on self. Self in that moment felt sad. And I told the person, I feel sad when you say these things because it's sad. And then I walked away. No guilt trip, no tone of voice. I said it just like I'm talking right now. I was like, it's no big deal. I'm just letting you know. Okay? Future reference. And it was upon handling that situation with grace and compassion that I then received a graceful and compassionate outcome, resolve. And that made me feel better than any fight that I've won. Any verbal argument. Because, are you winning? Did you win? No, you berated somebody until they, I don't know, gave up, But here's another thing. This is why we need to worship something bigger than ourselves. We as humans are fickle. We're vulnerable. We totally are. Did you know our brains can become addicted to drama and arguments? Something that might have started in your childhood and you hate it. You hated growing up like that. But for some reason, why does it keep following me? Because what started as a problem in your childhood has now become a codependent drug to release dopamine and endorphins, because that's the only way you learned at that age to release that was through the drama of fighting or picking fights or argumentative, things like that. So then you get older and you don't, I'm pointing to my wall because there's a list that shows you how to get dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins naturally. You don't know how to do that naturally. You weren't allowed that awareness. So your body now and your brain now is seeking the dopamine and endorphin rush, but from what it only knows. So then you enter carrying on the cycle. Isn't that insane? It's not even your fault. It's just your brain got trained to seek those chemicals, those natural chemicals that you need to survive through drama. I know. We are way more vulnerable than you think. And that's how easily our brain can get stuck on something. And it's up to us, the spiritual body, the spiritual self, to make that observation and to recognize the patterns that are being created and the repetition of our experiences that stem from that one similar experience. Parasite wants you stuck, because then you can just stay there at the end of your days. Parasite wants that. Fuel the parasite. And then you become a part of the parasite later. Spiritual warfare, folks. That's why even though it feels right, I just gotta say something right now. Is it right? Or is it the parasite working through you again? Because there are compassionate, polite ways of expressing yourself, even in times of strife. Oh, I know. I used to not believe that. I used to be a very argumentative person. Ooh, give me an argument. Let's go. I hate it now. I freaking hate it. However, does not stop me from, because there was this line when the pendulum swung the other way. I was like, no fighting ever. Like, I'm done with it. But then I kept suppressing how I truly felt about things and allowing the repetition of those cycles of being treated by others kept happening. So where's the line, right? I was like, are you for real? So I'm not supposed to flip out on anyone, but I'm also still supposed to sternly place boundaries. Tough. Took me about 3 or 4 years to figure it out. And I still have to be in observation mode and recognize if I'm coming from a place of soul-led, heart-led, or brain-led, of conditions and patterns. Because I just make it into like funny jokes that are just also a little serious. Like this guy was like hitting on me a little, like honestly wasn't bad. He just was like looking at me a lot. And like I'm in a relationship and I'm out with my friends and it's like, the first thing that popped in my head was, what do you want, bro? And so I said that. I was like, what do you want from me? What is it? What's up? And like right then and there is your opportunity. What's the move here, bro? Figure it out right now. Because then I can either put you down nicely and be like, I'm in a healthy relationship so you can move on. Or whatever it is. But like, we got to break the whole, I feel eyes on the side of my face all night, you know? And I wasn't overthinking it. I didn't let my ego get involved because I surrender constantly to all this. You know. And I always say in the morning, ground my spirit, lead with my heart, and surrender my thoughts. The purity of intention, the pure intention of the heart. So, yeah, what do you want, bro? And like he laughed, my table of friends laughed, we all laughed, whatever. But then he like laughed, he like went away, you know? He gave me some space. So it's just like, no one got hurt. Everyone thought it was funny. Like, I got to express, well, because if that thought, what do you want from me, didn't come out, it would have gone right into here. And it would have changed my frequency vibration output. And before you know it, I would start dipping into the decimal level of being able to hear the parasite, and I'm good on all that. I do not need to hear that shit anymore. So whenever I feel that droop, I'm like, oh my God. And I will never let another person like do that to me anymore, to bring me into a droop. Like, that's ridiculous. The only person that's allowed to do that is myself. And I still get frustrated with myself. I'm like, why'd we do that? But at least it's like, you know, you against you. But when you let someone else drop you because they said some dumb shit that doesn't even matter, because how does it affect your life at all? Yeah, then you should be pissed at yourself, because like, who is this person? Who are these people? It sounds egotistical, but it's not about the ego. It's just about like, who cares? Who cares? And then you fed it, and now we're all on the same shitty level. The parasite, think of this. Just imagine them. If they're getting annoying, they're saying dumb shit, they're being whatever, just remember, the parasite's got a hold of them to try and get to you. You is what they're after. They already won that body, that vessel. That's why they're acting that way. That's their character, right? They've already succumbed to it. Don't let it get you too. Armor up. I like that that's mentioned in the Bible too, like the armor of God. Like, just wear the armor of God. Just put the armor of God on. No big deal. Because when you think of God and religion, if you read the Bible, when you think of God, you are then reminded of this totality of divinity and the unconditional love of nature and the returning to inner child and his healing and like all these things. So like, yeah, when I say I'm wearing the armor of God, it's because I'm divinely and spiritually protected in the unseen realm. Why? Because I allow myself to be guided with a pure heart. And I pray for that every day. I do not want to make decisions off of an impure heart. And how do I keep my heart pure? Don't do that. Got it. And then your lifestyle needs to support that. Pure intentions. Everything needs to be done with pure intention. Which cuts out a lot of what you would consider fun. But I'm telling you, it ain't that fun. It's way more fun being here. Like, I can't wait to go outside and pick the weeds in my backyard. They're like purple and beautiful. And yeah, I have to weed whack back there. So like, why not? Don't weed whack the steps that all these cute little purple flowers are growing on. Just rip them out by hand and make a bouquet. Put it throughout the house. Right? Like, why not? Oh, because they're weeds. You made them weeds. Not I. The parasite. That's you listening to the parasite. Because if they're pretty and they're purple, that's happiness to me. We need to stop labeling things. I explained this morning in a session too. Like, when we label people too, like label others or just label things, experiences, just label them with like a big old stamp. Like, for instance, I used the example this morning. Oh, that girl over there, she's lazy. Right when you make that a narrative assumption, you stop yourself from diving deeper and getting to know that person. What if she's not lazy? What if she's out of shape? What if she's struggling with a health ailment? What if she has mental health issues? What if her dog just died this morning? What if? 1,000 other narratives, but you chose the negative label. No, you didn't actually. The parasite did. Because then you don't get to know her. You don't love her. You don't help her heal. You remain in the cycle. Excuse me. See? The parasite wants lack of compassion. The parasite wants assumptions, narratives, and labels. It does, because that stops us from bonding and connecting. That's why we can't label shit. We can't label experiences either. Like, and that's what helps me personally not get mad. I don't label it. I'm not labeling it. It's just happening. I feel a certain type of way. I want to respond to it because I don't actually know. I know I feel it here, but I don't know unless I participate in my environment, which brings us back to our core mindfulness skills again. Observe, participate. Oh, I gotta cheat. Observe non-judgmentally, participate. Oh, here we go. Observe, describe, participate, and then non-judgmentally, one mindfully, effectively, and with my wise mind. This helps you stay out of parasite mode because you're not labeling anything. You're just sticking to the facts of what is and what isn't. And then you're participating in your environment from a place of middle ground because you don't actually know. Labels, assumptions, narrative creations are the parasite work. The parasite's work to divide and conquer, to keep us separate and not from healing together and creating this bond of healing and growth. Remember that. It's not you. It's the spiritual warfare we are all a part of. We're all part of it, whether you believe it or not. I know. So please, just worship something positive and good that reflects back to you the inner light and divinity so that when you forget, because we all do, we have moments of forgetting, you have that reminder. You have that thing to turn to remind you, to support you. Like if you don't believe in the universe and the overall flow and the whole laws of the universe, fine. But you believe in the fact that every spring chipmunks come out, they collect a shit ton of seeds, put them in their burrow, and then hibernate again. If that's like, that resonates with you on some kind of level, then worship the chipmunk. You be like, I gotta be more like that chipmunk, you know? Like, I gotta take care of my home. I gotta also make sure I get rest. Like, I gotta be a hard worker who also knows when to rest and enjoy themselves and yell out for friends, because chipmunks do that and they go, "Arr!" Like, I know it sounds like a bird, but it's not. It's just a chipmunk, and they're like, friend, friend. Crows do it too. If you ever really watch a crow, this is what led me back to God, is watching nature. You watch crows. If there's one crow alone and he's cawing, just watch for a while. And he'll stop cawing, and all of a sudden, a whole group will start cawing back, and they'll be flying from a different direction to meet him. Because that is actually a thing that crows do. They call for their friends, and the whole group meets them. I think that's hilarious, because why is the one not just like finding the group? He's like, nah, y'all meet me here. I'm not moving. Like, he's like a lost kid in the mall. Like, where's my mom? And like, they just come. And like, what is that? Like, that taught me, ask for help. Call a friend. It's all good. You're not abnormal for needing that. I think it's pretty abnormal that one crow keeps doing that to call the whole group, not just finding the group. But you know what? Maybe that's not abnormal. Maybe if we are in a state of loneliness and things of that nature, maybe it isn't meant for us to go hunt for a connective experience, but to call for help. We don't know what we need. Call for help. And then you could resonate that into your life. A squirrel family did something similar to me as well. I moved, and once I moved, it's hard. A lot of bad stuff kind of happened, and it didn't work out the way I thought it would right in the beginning. And I was thinking I should just move again. Not back. I had nowhere to go back to, but I was like, we could always move on. And that same week that I was having those thoughts, lightning struck this tree in the backyard and broke it in half. A tree that used to have the family of squirrels that I've been watching. So I'm like in tears, because I'm like, oh my God, where's the family gonna go? Are they like destroyed right now? Are they like ripped apart? Do they not even know what to do right now? They have no home. They were just out in that yard, all three of them, mom, dad, and baby, picking up seeds and just carrying on. They just made another home in the dead tree. They're like, whatever, we don't care. And then I was like, right, because your sanity and your home has nothing to do with the actual vessel. It's how your perspective. Where's your heart at? There was the three of them together. That's all that mattered. They had each other. And the little baby one like came at me a little bit because I was like meditating in the grass, so I was like really still, and then like opened my eyes. He wasn't that far away, and he was looking at me like, why are you freaking out? I just lost my whole, like, everyone chill. If we can adapt, you can adapt. Look outside of yourself to the purity of other things to remind and reflect back your own divinity. Start worshiping something today, and not the parasite. Spiritual warfare, it's a thing. And we are the tethers. We are the spiritual, earthly. We are the integration of both. Given self-awareness and consciousness. Oh my gosh. And what really came from that is free will. Free will is what sets us apart. Yes, we have the option to lock into the flow and utilize the flow and the universal laws to work with us, much like the ebb and flows of the seasons and the ebbs and flows of the energetic shifts of the zodiac seasons. We can tap into that and utilize it for success. At the same time, I can have a burger and french fries and sip a Coca-Cola. I wouldn't, because I don't really like soda, but like, it's not the point. The point is, we are the integration of the two worlds, the unseen and the physical reality, and because of that, with self-awareness, we gained free will. Free will is a dangerous concept. So right there, you're already into spiritual warfare because you have free will. And that's dangerous to the parasite. And then when you really think about it, it can be dangerous to the ally. But the ally wants you to have free will. The ally wants you to choose love. Because when you choose love and you're not forced to love, the choice of love is so much more powerful, greater in density and power than forced love. The difference between conditional love and unconditional. Because unconditional is when you choose to love. All right. On that note, choose to love. I hope you guys have a great day. Be back again tomorrow, hopefully with one less sweater. I'm hoping that the weather keeps getting better. Have a great day. Choose love.